Yo, 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 what is going on? Here we are on a Thursday night, ready to enter the kill zone. Officially,
Oh
this is
yeah.
Kill Zone 17, The Last Temptation. I'm here with my I'm here with my man Killjoy Jake. Jake, what's up, man?
Well, I'm just trying to fight that last temptation. We've had so many, on these streams. I don't even know.
It's so true, man. It's so true. Oh my God. The biggest temptation is what we're going to talk about tonight, I guess. So let me just jump to the chat to say hello to all of you guys. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. RJ's in the house. 29 days until Scream 7. There you go. We knew sooner or later we'd get the countdown from 30 on out. Here we go. We got Oliver in the house joining us again with the channel membership. Thank you so much for continuing to be there with us, brother. We appreciate it. You rock. All right. We got Jacob in the house. Who here believes that Stu is alive? There's probably a lot of people here that believe it. I'm sure we'll get into some of that as well. We got Ghost in the house. What's up? Good to see you. Paul is in the house. Who else? Val, thank you for being here, Val. We appreciate you being here. Ben's jumping in really quick with a super chat, so we got to take a pause and check him out. Thank you so much, Ben, for the support. We appreciate it. It helps us out so much. Knight, my man, it's always fun to catch a live stream. Hope you, as well as the entire watch zone, are doing well, especially in these tumultuous times. Love you. All right, let us proceed to Ghostface. There you go. You covered all the bases, bro. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Seriously. Thank you so much for putting a 10 in there and helping us out, man. It really does a lot for us. All right. And for everyone else, oh, hey, look, Jen made it tonight. Hey, Jen, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Jen has been very studious on Instagram, keeping track of things and letting me know when she's not able to pop into the streams and checking out replays. Thank you so much, Jen. We appreciate you.
Very,
All right.
very cool.
Yeah, man. You know how it is. So, Jake, let's get into this discussion on the Saw franchise because everyone's talking about it. And so we got to. No, I'm just chilling.
There's a lot to talk about Saw, though. Don't get me started.
Bro, look, do you want to get canceled tonight with me? I mean, no, I'm just joking.
Let's just not talk about Scream at all. Let's just let's talk about everything else.
I know, wouldn't that, dude? It'd be funny if we could do that because, like, we would get roasted so bad, like, purposefully not say anything. All right, no, but let's get into it because that's what we give them with the people what they want.
Yes.
Give them what they want. Okay, so I'm sure you saw the spot that referenced Kevin and the interview and so forth with Kevin, Nev, Mason, Jasmine, and also Isabel. What did you think of that? It did bring out the feels and truly gave you a sense of the weight of the franchise over all these 30 years.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's great to see Kevin Williamson this creatively involved with the franchise. Some would even say maybe more than ever, and I think that's really exciting. Yeah. I'm really hyped up to see how he does as a director. Because I think it is a very different creative role than writing something. Like bringing it to life, making the words something that's actually on screen and. Just telling that story through a ton of different lenses versus just written on paper. It's a different. It's a different job, and I'm just really excited to see how he does it, what he brings to Scream in this different kind of way. So it's going to be fun, and I think that teaser kind of showcases a lot of that, which is going to be fun. As well as maybe spoiling a little something in there. So
maybe look, this campaign has been banana pancakes, bro. I mean, we don't get a lot. And then we get a bunch of little things that were very good, by the way, and add up. We get to see the total murderization of a certain character, like explicitly, and we're getting a lot of cryptic details and dialogue and so forth. So it's crazy, man. I mean, I will say, my curiosity is still at a really high level. It's actually increasing. And, I think that makes sense because, we're a month away. What would you say is some of the craziest takes, if at all, that you either have or that you've heard from the viewers about what we're going to see in Scream 7? Anything come to your mind?
I mean, just craziest things in general. I've seen a lot of people who are saying not even just Stu coming back, but also like Emma Roberts as Jill. Like I've
Yes.
seen like people are saying that it's going to be like Avengers Endgame of all the killers still being alive or something. And I I mean, that would just be impossible to keep a secret. You know what I mean? If that
Right.
was really happening, like there's no way a photo wouldn't leak or something along those lines. So that
Hmm.
feels like the craziest. I feel like that's the craziest theory we've heard so far. But but I don't know. Do you got something else?
Man, I've heard everything from um, Mark being the opening kill to what we've seen of the house burning down, which we think is the opening, being the finale leading into the end of the movie, and that will segue into Scream 8. I've seen some people say that not only is Stu going to be alive and in the film, but he actually will be helping Sydney, kind of like almost like a Hannibal Lecter type of thing going on.
Yeah.
I've heard about Jill coming back, Kirby coming back, Angelina coming back, Laurie Metcalf, your favorite, coming back. I've heard
Yes.
even Joel. Everyone's talking about, like, everybody's on the table. So it's crazy. I will say that's kind of the fun of this, though. Is like it's so many things swirling around. If with all those things being said, if you were to pick at least one of these things that you think might come true or that you think will come true, do you have one that you'd pick?
Yeah, it's funny on the Lethal Collective this week, we were talking about Angelina and, how I would want to see her come back.
Yeah.
And I did a video on it earlier this week talking about like how I think a lot of fans want to see Stu get this redemption arc, and I feel like I don't think he should have I don't know. I don't know if he deserves a redemption arc. But I was talking about Angelina, and I was like, I think if there's any maybe Ghostface, who could get that, if Angelina was the second Ghostface in Scream 3, I feel like it should be her. So I would be so okay with Kevin putting his own spin on Scream 3 by having Angelina in this film and doing something with that character.
Yeah.
That would be just really cool to me because, of course, he does not write that third movie. That was not his idea really at all, to take it to Hollywood. So like that's cool for a number of reasons for me because it's not only like it's Kevin writing that character, which is something he's obviously never done, but
Yeah.
also he's putting a spin on something that wasn't like really his from this franchise. And I like there's kind of that's like mad respect, man, because I think it would be so easy for Kevin to shit all over Scream 3. You know what I
Right.
mean? And just be like, "Oh, well, I didn't do that one, so it sucks." But, for him to take something from that and evolve it in maybe his own way, to put his own 2 cents on it, that to me is just like kind of like mad respect. You know what I mean? It's like that's
Yeah.
cool. It's like it's acknowledging Scream 3 is part of the franchise, whether you like it or not. It is a very different movie than everything else here, and I love that. I don't know. That would just be really cool to me. Sorry, I'm ranting, I'm rambling, but I really would love to see him put his own spin on that character and kind of bring a fan theory to life in a weird way.
Yeah, I think it could be fun. And the other thing that really makes it almost seems like it would work so well is because, like you said, he didn't have that connection to 3,
Yeah.
with how the story went and so forth. So, you're already tying things back to Sydney and to 96, but 3 has always kind of been like that lost puppy, that black sheep. And I think it would be really cool for them to do something like that, especially with Scott being involved to whatever degree. We hope it's at least something cool and not just like a voice somewhere in the ether. It's like, what would that accomplish? I'm like so stuck on especially Scott as
Yeah.
Roman, because it's like, if I'm bringing back Roman, I at least want it to like hit. You know what I'm saying? Like a flashback of some sort. Something that would, I don't know, just something that would be cool, and you can kind of tip your hat and say, "Yeah, Roman." And we're giving 3 a little bit of respect and maybe strengthening it. So I agree with you. Angelina could be like a really cool backdoor for them to not only strengthen 3, but probably go out in left field, because who really expects a big callback to 3? You know,
Right.
nobody does. We're talking about Jill. We always talk about 96. We're talking about connections to 5 and 6, even the second film. But 3 is always kind of like, shut up, get in the corner, get away from me.
Put on the dunce hat.
Put on the dunce hat and play that music that they play when the knife is going at Dewey. I will say another thing too, and we talked about this on the collective. I think that I really hope that for Sydney and Gail, we see that scene of them at the facility. I really hope that they have some cool ass scenes together like that. Putting some of the pieces together, trying to figure things out, showing us like we saw a little bit of this in 5, but of course this was in the third act, late in the third act, so we didn't see a lot of them together. But I'd love to see them together, like just working together and not coming together because of the tragedy, like in 5 with Dewey and so forth. Do you think that there's a possibility we get a lot of time with Sydney and Gail together?
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I think that a lot of this movie is going to try to capture that like throwback feel, to Screams like 1 through 4 essentially. And to me, how do you do that? I feel like it's putting the focus back on these two characters specifically and them working together trying to figure out the mystery. That is such a big part of Screams like 1 through 4 that I feel like fans might have missed about 5 and 6 maybe. But, for me, I think that I think the biggest thing that fans miss is just the feel, the flavor of those movies in particular. Now, I think that while there's other things about 7 I'm worried about, I think the one thing they are going to be successful in is capturing that tone, that feel, and that's going to be enough for some people, and that's totally cool. So I think just from that alone, just being able to execute that here, I think that's going to be enough for some people to say 7 is better than 5 and 6, and that's awesome. That's great. That's me personally, I'm a little more focused on I need a good story. I need a reason to be following these characters again, and I hope they can accomplish that too. But the tone, the feel, Marco Beltrami's score, it's gonna feel like Screams 1 through 4.
Yeah. I can't wait to like get the score and get some moments that really do feel like the OG films, and to just kind of being able to see that on the big screen is another added cool factor. You know what I mean? And I think we got a good chance for that to happen. But back to that TV spot, when Kevin was just talking about that he's excited to be back, he's excited to be directing, he had the chance, his dream, to work with his hero Wes Craven and learning so much from him. And of course they showed that little clip of Wes, I think he's in action or something like that. And I was just like, I can't lie, the feels, it was happening. I was just like, man, that is so cool. Do you think that going in, that Kevin would have an effort? Because to me, this is what I would do, but I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Do you think he would have that type of effort to kind of have that Wes Craven-esque type of feeling to this film, like to make it more scary? I mean, you and I talked about this, and I'll bring this up too in a little bit. We talked about how some people consider Scream, like comfort horror. And I think that's fair. But I do think, in those earlier films, there are moments that are genuinely horrific or scary. And, maybe it won't happen, but the trailer looks like we got a couple good moments like that. So do you think Kevin, like on purpose or purposefully, would try to enact some of that old Craven fear and terror?
I hope so, because I feel like that's something I'm definitely worried is going to be missing from this. I just think about a lot of the other Kevin Williamson projects that I've seen, and like I do like a lot of his stuff, but I don't know if he's ever necessarily going for like outward scariness. I feel like when it comes to that original Scream, especially, you have Kevin with his, like great character development and meta commentary mixed with Wes Craven, like pushing for a scarier, bloodier, slasher flick. And that it's that mixture together, that back and forth, that made that original Scream so brilliant and really, truly amazing.
Yeah, like a good balance.
Yeah, and I hope that, when he was directing this, he was thinking about that. He was like, maybe in his head, he was like, that's what made those originals so good. I have to have Wes's spirit here a little bit. I have to sacrifice a little bit to make that happen. Because
Yeah.
I'm so worried this is not going to be scary. And like, it's got to be a little, like a little bit, not like we were talking about earlier, comfort horror, but
Yeah.
not, it doesn't have to be Terrifier, people getting ripped to shreds or anything like
Right.
that, but you got to have a
Right.
little something, right?
Yeah, you got to, man. I would think so. Speaking of scary, and I was not planning this, but this is also the beauty of doing it live. I'm gonna jump back to the chat in a second, but we're gonna talk about the scare factor of these films in a minute. So we're gonna all six of these films, just thinking about how scary they are. But let me jump back to the chat real quick because we've got some more people working hard. We got Senior Wilson. What's going on? Mini Stu is here. He's fantastic. Well, that's great. That is awesome. I'm glad he got to you safely, shipped overseas. You look, seriously, it is amazing. I'll be checking my email. I'm sure you probably emailed. But thank you so much for all the support, seriously. And that is awesome that you enjoyed the mini stew. Very, very cool. We got Rachel in the house. Hey, Rachel, got a channel member anniversary 25, the big 25. We're over 2 years. Time flies. It's crazy, Rachel. But thank you so much for all the support. Saying love being part of the Night Watch family. We appreciate you, Rachel. Seriously, and hope that you're doing well. We got to get you back on the panel, man. That's what we got to do. So think about that, Rachel. Think about it. Oliver coming back in with a super chat. Thank you so much. We had Jason versus Freddy. I want Jigsaw versus Ghostface. Oh, wow. Could that even work? Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it could. I mean, it could work, but I don't know if we'd ever see that. It would be pretty cool though. I do miss the days, especially like the old Universal monsters. They would have those team ups and those verses. Those were a lot of fun watching those as a kid.
Maybe like a Ghostface gets away with it and Jigsaw figures it out or something and puts him in a
Yeah,
saw trap,
yeah,
something like that.
you didn't appreciate that you escaped, and now live or die. Make your choice.
That would be awesome.
Right? I love it. Somehow we gotta talk some Saw every once in a while, right? It's gotta
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Erica coming in. Thank you so much, Erica. Jake and Knight like you, so you should like them back. Thank, thank you, Erica. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps us out so very much. It lets us know that you enjoy these conversations. And Jen's coming in. Thank you, Jen. Scott was on a talk show and talked about how much he loved spending the day with Nev and David. Ooh, now I didn't hear about that particular one. I've seen a couple bits with Scott, hearing some sound bites and stuff, and a couple of things I've read. Jake, okay, let's get into Scott for a second before we go back to the scariness of the film's topic. First of all, are you happy? How do you feel about Scott Foley being involved with Seven to whatever degree?
I mean, it's cool. I just don't think we're gonna see like actual Roman Bridger on screen, and that's
Yeah.
what bums me out. I think if we do, I think the extent to which we're going to get these characters is going to be their voices, and I think it's going to be AI replication. So it's not really these characters. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's them pretending to be a version of themselves. I guess I don't. It's so hard to talk about, right? But I don't think
Right.
we're actually getting like character development with Roman or Stu or Dewey,
Right.
and
Yeah.
like that to me just feels really it's like kind of false marketing in a way, right? Like it's
Mhm.
almost like trickery. It's clickbait, but with a feature film versus a 6-minute YouTube video or something. And I
Right.
think that's it. Just I don't know. It's really gonna rub me the wrong way if that's the only way they're utilized. And some people, every time I bring this up, someone always says, "Well, what if they do a deep fake of them or whatever?" That's the same thing. It's not
Right.
actually Roman Bridger. We're not actually doing anything else with those characters. It's
Yeah.
replication of these characters, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I do think, of course, not seeing the movie yet, so things could
Right.
totally change once we see the film. But right now, from the outside looking in, I do think it's a huge fumble if that is the only thing we see of these past characters, or when I said the word see, you know what I mean? Because I think there's the opportunity to do a couple of interesting things. I mean, with Dewey, it's a little bit tougher. But I think with Roman, it really could not only, like we've said before, we've said it a thousand times, it could really impact the story quite a bit. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It really, really is. If you could do it, if you had the choice to position these past characters the way you'd want, do you have an idea of what you'd want to see from Roman and Dewey and Stu?
I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do like a flashback with them, like it's gotta be worth something. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to just see like a scene of them hanging out. Like it's got to
Right.
affect the story now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just kind of like fan fiction. You know what I mean? It's like what is this doing? I think the only like how I could see it is like let's say the killer is Stu's sister. It's a very popular theory with Scream 7. Maybe you could do a sequence where it's like it's all of them kind of colluding and Stu's sister overhears something and maybe she knew about it before it even happens, because
Yeah.
that puts a lot of weight onto that character of Leslie Mocker. That kind of says like, well, she kind of could have prevented all of this had she
Mm,
stopped it there and then, but maybe she just didn't speak up. She just
right.
allowed it to happen. She knew what was going on, but never said anything,
Hmm.
And that would be such an interesting new angle, I think, to add to the original film. But I
Right.
just don't think we're getting that. That would be awesome, though. Like, let's say it's revealed the killer is Anna Camp playing Leslie Mocker, right? Then we get
Hmm.
that flashback scene of saying, like, I let all of this happen and it led to my own son dying years later. And maybe that's
Yeah.
what made her decide to go Ghostface 30 years later.
Yeah. No, I agree. That would be awesome because it does multiple things. It adds weight to Leslie. It kind of gives her some more heft, and of course, it changes what we knew, and it also can give us a different angle on Roman, and that would be really cool.
Yeah.
And Stu, so they could. It's like killing multiple birds with one stone if they just have one scene. We're talking about a scene that could be like what, less than 2 minutes. Is like, and I'm not saying that that would make this film great, or save it from other issues that it might have. I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. But I do think it would be good use of a couple of those past characters. So I agree with you 100%. Jen, thank you so much for that. We appreciate the super chat and also letting us know about Scott. We got Hollywood guy coming in. Thank you so much, bro. Hope you're doing well. Saying the trailers and TV spots are showing too much. It's kind of making me mad. Now I don't know if I want a new trailer. What are you guys' opinions? Jake, what are you thinking? Are they showing us too much? And if so, is there anything in particular that they've shown us that is irritating to you?
Yeah, I'm I almost don't want to talk about it. We
Yeah.
know who the killers are now because we've seen all the deaths. We've seen all the deaths in the movie. Like I'm not even making a joke. Like we have seen every character's death at this point. You can just, if by process of elimination you can figure out who the killers are right now, and if it's
Yeah.
those two people, I'm really really bummed out because it's like, dude, you've shown us the bodies, you've shown us the people who are dying, and unless one of them survives from something we just don't know about yet,
Yeah.
we know who the two killers are, and that would really fucking suck. So I am pretty upset, but at the same time, it's weird. Knight, you kind of alluded to this earlier, saying like we had nothing for 2 months. Like, I mean, like, November, December, basically nothing. And now it's everything. It's too much. I mean, it's been both ends of a spectrum with the marketing of this film. And it's bizarre almost. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
I've ever even covered another movie that's been marketed so chaotically like this.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like, feast or famine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like slow down, guys, slow down and don't give away too much shit. Hollywood guy, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. We definitely agree with you. I personally, and I think I said this last week on the collective, I don't need another trailer. And it's kind of weird because I love trailers and I love talking about them, but Scream has always been the type of franchise where the more you show, like you just said, the more you can figure out. And I know this might sound contradictory because I've been very vocal about how the reveal of the killers is probably not going to be a big thing in the franchise anymore, or it probably shouldn't be, because we figure out stuff so easily. In general, us as the fandom, um, I think it's more about the journey towards it, and maybe the ripples around that reveal, which of course they could make that happen in 7, just like they did in 96. Again, we're looking at Billy. It's not Billy, it's really Stu. That was the ripples. That's what made it so great, in my personal opinion. So, but even with that being said, I don't want another trailer. I don't want to see anything else. I want to go in and experience it, you know? And so I understand where a lot of folks are coming from, including you, Hollywood guy. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. Kelly is in the house as well. Channel member anniversary, 8 months going strong. Thank you so much, Kelly. We appreciate you. We need characters we can get invested in, scares, kills, and getting back to a good murder mystery. I want to be shocked when it's reveal time. Right? Yeah, exactly. When the reveal happens, Jake, even though, we do have a lot of evidence that is stacking up, and of course, a lot of things we've been thinking about for weeks, for the last couple months. When that reveal happens, do you think that they'll still be able to shock you to some degree, or surprise you to some degree, kind of like, we famously talked about Amber in 5? We knew about Amber thanks to the good old trailer, but that reveal, it popped. I think when we ranked the reveals, I think Amber was pretty high on both of our lists.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I mean, if they can pull something like that off, that would be great. I think the reveal itself is not going to hit for this movie. Like, I feel pretty confident in that, sadly. But what I do think is the motive could be cool and be something we don't expect. Like, the reason that it's being done. Like, we're all so focused on, is she Leslie Mocker? Is she Stu's sister? And if she's not, if there's something else going on here, that would be awesome. Like, that, I would really be impressed if it was just anything else. Like, if it just wasn't a family related thing.
Yeah.
And I don't even care if it's a lesser motive than stuff we've gotten in the past. If it's something incomparable, you know what I mean? It's something that's just not like anything else we've gotten in the movies. Something that brings a new conversation to Scream. I'm down for it. That could be the shock. That could be the interesting thing about whoever is underneath the mask this time around. So I'm just really, more than anything, I am hoping, fingers crossed, the motive is good more than anything. Because I think, me personally, I'm very 99.99% sure I know who's underneath the mask.
I love it, man. What if, with the reveal, what if it's something, like you said, something that's out there in left field? What if, like, 1 or 2 of the killers, I guess that would mean that we'd have at least 3, or maybe the third person is orchestrating things. But what if there's blackmail involved? What if someone is forced to be the killer? Like, and listen, I'm not saying that's great by any means, but if it's done the right way, and in that third act there's some really cool dialogue and some interesting things going on, I mean, that could be different. That could be like, oh wow, that's pretty cool, something different.
Well, and we're trying to find connections to Stu, right? With whoever the killers are. Is it Stu? Is it a connection to Stu? What if it's just like a relationship that is similar to Billy and Stu, and we're just building upon that? Because, fans have analyzed that so deeply about the original Scream, about how, when Stu's asked what his motive is, he says peer pressure. He was kind of forced to do this. So, what is there more to that? Is that like what was really going on behind the scenes? Like, what was that conversation like between Stu and Billy before they got unmasked? It's really intriguing. It's interesting. Can we dive into that with a new set of characters who are in similar situations? There's like an alpha who has a bunch of people following them. If it's a parent with their kids, you know what I mean? It's a parent like forcing their kids to kill other people and all of their friends. That's terrifying. That's a horrifying, evil scenario. And it's similar, right? It's a similar thing to what was going on with Billy and Stu. So maybe that's the connection. Maybe there's like a thematic thing going on.
I mean, and to be honest with you, I mean, we're talking, right off the cuff right now, but I'll be honest, I'm kind of digging that, just because it is different. It would paint the Ghostface killer or the orchestrator or whoever in a different light. Like, if you look at all of the killers, Billy, Stu, Roman, Mrs. Loomis, Mickey, and everyone else, they are in it either for revenge or fame, or they're just psychotic, whatever. So they're in it. They're woo, let's go. Let's be a Ghostface killer for whatever reason. But what if you have someone that doesn't want to be but has to be? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I know this sounds totally crazy. I'm not saying it's great, but it is different. And I actually would be interested to see if they could pull something like that off. Just the execution of it, story-wise. So Kelly, thank you so much for that. You sent us down a rabbit hole, and that was a lot of fun. We appreciate you, and again, happy anniversary. We got Mandy coming in the house. What's up, Mandy? Good to see you. Saying, anyone afraid all the hype is going to leave a feeling of disappointment with all the fan theories and convos? Is it going to be similar to Stranger Things 5 letdown? Oh man. I mean, well, I'll start off on this. There's definitely that possibility. There's always hype around these Scream films, and obviously for content creators like Jake and myself, and the collective, and so many others, just on YouTube alone, is just like so many conversations, so many angles. It definitely can set you up for failure. It definitely can. Me personally, once I go into that theater with my popcorn, extra butter, Jake, you got to
Hell
have
yeah.
extra butter,
Oh,
and my
yeah.
Coke or Pepsi. Sometimes I get Twizzlers on the side.
Ooh.
So when I enter that theater, I'm just going to try to sit back and just let it happen. There'll obviously be things that'll happen in the film where I'll be like, ooh, ooh, and kind of, my brain will start to work like content creator mode, but I always try to pull back on that as much as I can. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Um, and then I just kind of see how it feels. How about you, Jake? I mean, first of all, what do you think about what Mandy's saying, and what about you? I mean, how much of the hype will possibly blind you when you go to see Scream 7?
Well, when I enter the theater, and I, of course, get large popcorn, extra butter, extra salt, large cherry Coke,
Ooh.
maybe some, not the Twizzlers, but what are they called? The sweet tart ropes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Sometimes I got to get those. Those bang,
Yeah.
dude. Oh,
Dude,
man.
those are
Yeah.
good.
But when I get all when I get all my snacks and I go into the theater, I, I'm I'm really just hoping, that this movie just delivers on what I want from a Scream film. You know what I mean? Is there a solid murder mystery? Is there some good character development? Some good shocks, some good twists, some good kills? Dude, I loved Screams 5 and 6, and those are not perfect movies by any means. I'm not expecting perfection from Scream 7, but I just want it to be at least competent enough for it to be worthy of donning the title of Scream. I mean, this is a sequel to what is, in my opinion, one of the very best horror films ever made. I am going to be at this, with all of that being said, I am going to maybe crack down on this one a little harder than maybe just an original or whatever. Just because it's like, dude, you're Scream 7. Like we're a continuation to one of the best of all time, at least one of the most influential horror films of all time. I mean, Scream, like rip-off slasher movies, that's a subgenre category of its own. I mean, there's so many movies that are like in that it could be described that way. So for me, this is part of that main timeline. This has got to be at least something competent, something with some substance to tack onto that legacy. It can't, if it's like I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025, you're never going to hear me shut up about it. I'm going to be, it's going to be bad. That's all I'm saying.
The collective will have a brand new identity. We're just going to be shitting on Scream for like 5 months in a row.
And I don't want to do that, Knight. I really don't, man. I want to love this movie so bad. So if I do leave disappointed, that's going to really suck.
It will, man. I mean, there's a lot riding on this film as far as picking up the pieces after the whole debacle with Melissa and Jenna. Everything that went on with not paying Nev. And now we got her back. We got Kevin back. On a personal level, for a lot of us in this community, this film, it means a lot, and I won't go into why. I think most people will know why. So yeah, I agree. I want to love this film, and I think there's a chance that we're gonna be okay. You know, I don't know to what level, but I have a feeling and a decent enough level of hope that we're gonna be okay. But what I really would love is if this film, um, if I enjoy it more than 5 and 6, and it kinda has a lot of those old school vibes, and even though the mystery aspect of it may not match some of those original films, it'd be great if it's a good ride up until that reveal and beyond that reveal. That can make up for so much. It really can. Like I said, the more I've revisited 5, I'm enjoying that 3rd act more and more because of how abrupt that turn is for Amber. And it kind of
Yeah.
was like, wow, I'm kind of digging what they chose to do with that, you know. But I knew it was we knew it was Amber and Richie. You know, we talked about that when we ranked the reveals of the franchise. So, you know, like I said, the ride up into that reveal and beyond it is what I'm hoping they can at least nail that, because that would be amazing. Mandy, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate you so much. For the rest of you guys in the chat, we're going to try to catch up to you as much as we can. We got a lot of people. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps us out so much. We got, let's see, Weekend Weakling in the house. How do we feel about all of the Ghostface attacks and kills they've shown? I think I've counted 5 or so. So 5 so far. I will say this. I'm hoping that we don't see anything else. I don't want to see anything else. I will say that the attacks look good. I think we've spoken about that before. Ghostface physically looks good. The way they're shooting Ghostface, you know, camera wise, Lee looks awesome. He or she or they looks awesome. So I'm happy about that. But I don't want to see any more. I don't.
What else is there left to show?
Well,
I mean, outside of the reveals, I'm like, I don't even know what. Like, we've seen all the kills. I think. I don't know, man. I don't know.
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have in here? Ghost in the Dark saying, I'm watching Evil Dead Rise for the first time. Hey, there you go. And we're
Ooh.
talking about another movie. Hey, that's what we're talking about. Good for you, buddy. Speaking of which, check out my Why You Hate Evil Dead Rise, because I talked about that. It is a fun film. It is a fun film.
But I don't hate it.
Hey, man, bro. Okay, listen. I'm gonna say something right now. It's funny because I say this to the mods all the time because I get people that'll say that, but I don't hate it. It's like, bro, I never said you hate it, and I never said I do. But there are some people that do, and you know, I talk about some of those facts and stuff. But
Yeah.
too funny. But I don't hate it. I've had people like they will go out on a limb. It's the best movie of all. I've never ever heard of anyone in the known universe saying they didn't like this movie. What the hell is wrong with you? It's like, relax. It's just a movie. That's all that it is.
But I do like your series on that because I like everyone hates, like, there's someone that hates your favorite movie. You know what I mean? There's someone, like, every movie, there's a hater for it out there for some reason. And I think it's an interesting thing to analyze and talk about, you know?
Yeah, it's true, man. I've heard it about all my favorites at some point from friends or other content creators or people in the comments. I mean, I did one on Elm Street, which I
Yeah.
think not only is a fantastic horror movie still to this day, but it's just so damn creative. But I know some people that they don't like it at all, and it's like, hey, that's cool. I mean, it's not perfect, but anyways, yeah. But thank you for that, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Let's see who else we have. Senior Wilson coming back in. Thank you so much. McKenna Grace is not dead. She's Ghostface. They know what they're doing. Okay, so let's talk about McKenna. You know what's interesting is, well, first of all, let me start with this. What do you think about McKenna in this film? Is she gonna be Ghostface or is she gonna die?
Well,
And go ahead.
no, what's your aunt? What's your aunt?
Well, no, I was just gonna say, and how do you feel about that?
I really want her to be Ghostface, honestly. I think she could
Yeah.
totally pull it off, like, based on what I've seen her in other movies.
Hell
I could
yeah.
see her playing the role that we were talking about earlier, where she's like kind of reluctantly having to do this. That's interesting to me.
Yeah.
And here's my other thing too. If there's a fake out death in this movie, I'm gonna punch a hole in the wall because stop doing that, Scream. It's so like it's overplayed. We've done it too many times, and it does not work. That the moment
Right.
Quinn was revealed in Scream 6, it was a sigh, dude. I mean, like, it's just like, are you kidding me, man? I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyways, with this, I think we see her body in that new little featurette teaser, whatever you want to call it, that we got earlier in the week. And
Hmm.
if this is a fake out death, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. That just feels very like Scream 6 just did that a couple years ago. I think
Yeah.
McKenna Grace is genuinely dead. Like that's where I'm sitting with it. I think she's going to be an early kill. I could see her being a red herring though, like for maybe a little bit of that first act before she gets gutted.
A red herring. Yeah. Well, of course, everyone has talked about you know what we started off with, what she was wearing and so forth.
Yeah.
And this is interesting that we actually segued to this. Senior Wilson, thank you so much for that super chat because, and I know you always have this from folks as well. People are always sending me things or talking about their theories and stuff. Sometimes they don't get a chance to do it on the live streams or in the comments. Well, I'm going to put up, I got a couple images here for you. And let me just put one up and tell me what you think, Jake. There might be a common theme here.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm just saying the picture is worth 1,000 words because, three of these folks, yeah, that's
so funny. That's
right.
I can't believe I haven't not even a thought like that has crossed my brain until you put this all together. That's way too funny. Yeah, wow, she's dead meat.
Hey,
okay.
Hey, look, well, first of all, just to give a shout out to, all of our wonderful viewers that are always, like I said, contacting us and stuff on Instagram and so forth. But I'm just saying, and I was a fan of CC, especially CC, and I love Tatum, obviously. Liv is, you could kind of take her or leave her, but I'm just saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
I won't say anything else, guys. In the chat, what do you guys think? Because we thought one way, hey, but let me stop.
So we have the blue flannel as an indication of who Ghostface could be, but we have the flannel skirt as that's basically like having blood on your door. Angel of death is coming to you or whatever.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. Right. I'm wondering if anyone in the chat is going to say anything. What? Oh my God.
Yeah, it's over, dude. It's so over.
Hey, I'm just saying the stuff was there. Hey, what can we say? Another image I wanted to throw out to you. Have you seen this image? I was talking to Carrie the other day, and Carrie pulled this up. Have you seen that?
I'm trying to think. Someone shared this. I can't remember who it was. So I saw this online the other day, and I'm like, "This is so cool." This,
right?
To my knowledge, this is stylized old posters from back in the day. I think they released these for one of the original movies or sequels or whatever. I'm loving this. This is so cool. This is probably going to be cooler than the actual character posters we get too. Can I just say that?
Right. I'm loving the coloring, and it's all scored and kind of old school looking and stuff. And I love the red popping off of the blue. It's just really, really cool, man. That's the type of stuff I love. This type of stuff. Hell, man, Scream is one of those few franchises where when we would get things like this or character posters or whatever, I had to make a video about it because I was just pumped up about it, So yeah, interesting stuff out there for sure. And again, rest in peace to McKenna. But let me jump back to the chat. And Ben saying the plaid is a red herring. Yeah, hey, like I said, it's gonna be crazy. It is going to be crazy. That's all I can say. And let's see, who else do we have coming in? We got some other super chats I wanted to get into real quick. We got Johnny coming in. Hey, Johnny, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Saying I love the featurette. We got versus a second trailer. It's awesome hearing the cast and director. I get it's hard to market given spoilers, but I hope it's a win for critics and box office. First Scream to go to IMAX. I hope it's a win as well. I mean, on Jake's channel, was it, yeah, last week when you were talking about the scores and the critic scores and this and that, it was crazy when you sit back and think about some of the scores that these films have had, and even the more recent films having some pretty high scores. So this could do really well, box office wise, and maybe critics wise. Do you think there's a chance that this could at least score, I don't know, with RT maybe 65% or higher?
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. Rotten Tomatoes is rigged, as we said many times on that stream. It'll definitely be above 65%.
Yeah.
Box office numbers, I also think it's going to make a ton of money. Like, I think it could make as much, if not more, than the last flick. Listen, everyone's so worried. They're like, oh my God, people are going to boycott this movie. No, they're not.
Right.
I'm sorry. No, they're not. Like, people are going to show controversy drives people to things. Like, the people who are talking about boycotting this movie have not shut up about it since everything went down. You're telling me they're not going to want to go see this? Dude, this movie's going to make so much money. I promise you, this is not going to be a flop.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely going to make the money because you're going to have us going to it, the old school fans, and you've got this brand new generation of fans that have come on with 5 and 6. I think it's almost the perfect situation in a way, just like it was, I think, for like the Halloween trilogy. You had all of us old school horror fans that grew up on Michael, that grew up on Laurie Strode, and now you had these younger people coming in. When I went into the theater, for the films, when I went into 2018, there are a bunch of youngsters in there, man.
Yeah.
And they're all like, yeah, Michael Myers. And I'm sitting there like, you don't know nothing about Michael Audrey Myers. No, I'm just joking. But I think it's like the perfect way to grow your franchise and to keep it relevant for, who knows, the next 20 years with some of these younger viewers. I mean, look at us. We're still talking about films 30 years ago with Scream 96 and so forth. So
Well, a lot of these movies are like my first experience in the theaters with these franchises. Like Halloween 2018, that was the first Halloween movie I saw in the theaters, and it was awesome. I mean, it was an event. I don't know if it's the best Halloween movie ever. It might be my favorite sequel. But I love Halloween 2018, man. That was a night I'll probably remember the rest of my life. And same thing with Scream 5, Scream 6. These were also my first two Scream movies I saw in the theater. They're special for that reason. Again, are they the best movies in the franchise? No, but I think they do. They left an impact. That was my Ghostface experience and Michael Audrey Myers experience in the theater for the first time. So
hell yeah, man.
We'll definitely get more to come.
We will. I mean, it made so much money. It made a dent. The horror fandom is crazy about that franchise. The truth of the matter is, if you get to the point where, as a franchise, you can survive for a couple of decades and stay relatively at a decent level film wise, you're good, man. You're good, because you're going to have so many fans of different generations that will continue to talk about that franchise, to go and support that franchise, to go to the conventions to support that franchise. I mean, hell, man, every time I look at conventions coming up and I'm seeing, casts from, whether it's Halloween or Elm Street or Scream or Saw, there's that Saw reference again, I get pumped. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, I'm totally excited if, and I probably won't, but I hope and pray, if I got the chance to meet Tobin Bell and Shawnee Smith. Are you crazy?
Oh my dude.
That's a bucket list situation.
Yeah.
So, but that's what these franchises offer to us. So Scream, obviously one of the majors, and it's going to make money. So it's going to make money. Thank you, John. We appreciate you. We got Lamar in the house with the channel member anniversary. Lamar, what's up, bro? Good to see you. 8 months going strong, longer than that. Keep me in prayers. Found I have cancer. Oh my gosh,
That's terrible, my friend. I'm so sorry.
bro. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry too, man. Bro, much love and prayers. Please reach out. Seriously, I know you haven't had a chance to be here in a little while, probably a couple months, and man, I'm so sorry about that. Seriously. He said Kingdom of the Spiders, priceless. It is priceless. When you get a viewer who not only has a film or a topic that they love, but then when you do it, Jake, or you talk about or have a stream about it, and they always reference it, or they always say, thank you for doing that, or hey, that was a good conversation or video, whatever. There's nothing better than that, man. It's like, because it just shows you how these things can matter to people, so much love,
I
Lamar.
Yeah, much love, Lamar. So funny. I had an experience very similar to that recently. I made this video about there was a Snapchat VHS series. No one's ever heard of it before. It is like the weirdest little thing. I made a video about that, and someone just left me a comment. They're just like, "Oh my god, like that's your best video, bro. Love it. I made that like 3 years ago. Forgot about it." And it's wonderful whenever something like that happens. So it does mean a lot. We put a lot of time and effort into all this weird shit. So
True. It's true, man. Lamar, much love, and definitely keep in contact, man. Seriously.
keep us
We're always
updated.
here. Absolutely, man. We're always here multiple times a week, usually on Mondays, Thursdays, and Jake's on every day. So, but he's working hard, man. He's working hard. But seriously, much love to you, Lamar. Seriously. We got Senior Wilson also coming back in. Thank you so much. Saying, imagine if the killer is Camp and Grace, but they have another sibling not in on it, but the other killers say they are to mind game Tatum. Ooh, wow, that's getting pretty intricate. Hey, I could be down with that. Again, it's kind of twisting that whole theme a bit, and I would really be down for that if they could do it. Um, yeah, I think. Listen, if I can walk away from this movie and be surprised at how the motive works, or the reveal, or any of that, I'd be like pumped. I really would. There's no doubt. What do you think, Jake?
I would love to see like a character be like a black sheep, kind of shunned from their family, essentially, and then like you're suspicious of them. You're kind of like, well, what's up with that? Why are
Yeah.
they so? Maybe they have some obvious personality flaws or whatever. Something like that, and then in turn you find out the rest of their family's the ghost faces, and this person's being shunned away from that because maybe they didn't want to join, maybe they wouldn't have
Yeah.
been in on it for whatever reason. That's unexpected. I like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, again, we're throwing out a whole bunch of different angles here, but when you get that reveal, if there was something like that, that black sheep of the family, who's one of the last remaining characters or whatever, along with obviously Sydney and Tatum, and then you see that boom, that role reversal, that would be so cool. And hell, man, even if at that point the Ghostface killer or killers kills that family member, like that would be hardcore. Again, painting these Ghostface characters in a different light than the ones we've seen before. Like when I think of the past killers, some of them kind of interweave with each other. Some of them are just psychos. Of course, you think about someone like Stu. He's so charismatic. I think about Jill, who was like bat shit bonkers. I mean, she was kicking her own ass. Like that whole scene alone. I remember first time I saw it. First of all, I'm so shocked by the reveal when she started beating herself up, and that's like a 3-minute scene. I just put my hands up. I'm like, yep, she's one of the best.
Yeah.
She's one of the best, like immediately, just because that was so different and so dark. Like it was so dark, and it sets her apart from the other ones. It still sets her apart to this day. We're 6 movies in. So I would love to see that, Senior Wilson. So fingers crossed that they have something cool to show us. Let's see who else we have here. Hollywood guy coming back in. Thank you so much, bro. Hey guys, in your oh, I love how this starts. And whenever you hear someone say it like that, you know you're in trouble. In your heart of hearts, do you think that Scream 7 will flop or do decent? I mean, with the spoilers and stuff, I want it to do well. I don't think it's going to flop. With the spoilers, I am totally prepared for the movie to be the spoilers to be put out there. You know, we've seen it with 5, we've seen it with 6. I have no reason to doubt that it won't happen with 7. That's just kind of the nature of the world that we're in today. I mean, there's literally, you know, and Jake said it, there's some people that are talking about boycotting the movie. They're still going to go see the movie. We know that. But there are also those who talk about that is their main goal, is to basically spoil this film, put it all out online everywhere. And I have no doubt that it'll be out there. What do you think, Jake?
If you were really going to, you know, if you were really wanting to hurt this film, you would just stop talking about it altogether. That's the thing. Like, yep. My big thing, and I'm such a firm believer in this, there is no such thing as bad press. If you are talking about something, it is getting attention, it's getting more eyes on your thing. The things that don't do well are the things that don't get talked about. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's because we're talking about Scream 7 all the fucking time that it's going to do well. So I have a lot of faith that this movie is going to do well. And honestly, this is insane to say, and I don't want this to happen, but I think the more stuff that gets spoiled, the more attention is getting on this movie. Drama is the biggest thing people want to talk about, sadly.
Yeah.
It just is. It just is true. When something is, you know, controversial, when something is like a little more like, whoa, what's happening with this? That's just, it's a bigger story. It's a more interesting thing to most people, the majority of people. So Scream 7, I think, has the best chance to do well out of the last 3, just because of the controversy, because of how everything has kind of shaked out with this movie in the last couple of years. So I you know, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I would be, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd say this one is going to maybe even do a little better than the last 2.
Yeah, I would definitely, if I was to bet, I would say the same. I think it's going to do better. It just has all those things in place. Plus, if it is good, and we're hoping that it's good, I mean, that's just going to be a big thing too, because, I mean, and again, I enjoyed 6 and I enjoyed 5, you know, were there issues? Yeah, there were some issues, but I think that if this film can really bring back some of that old magic, there's going to be a whole hell of a lot of us talking about that as we watch it that opening weekend, that opening week. And it's just going to be like an avalanche. I truly think so. So Hollywood guy, thank you so much for that. Talking Star Wars coming in, saying Matthew just dropped Ghostface vodka. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
You gotta love Matthew. Gosh. Jake, when we watch this film, and it's going to be interesting on the collective when we all get together, if Stu Macher is alive in this film, is there anything crazy that you will do on the Lethal Collective?
If Stu Macher is alive, I will drink a lot of this Ghostface vodka on the Lethal Collective. I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need it. You know, dude, honestly, I bitch about it a lot, but if it does happen, I'm just gonna think about how many people. I know that while I'm watching it in pure disappointment, watching the franchise that I've loved for years basically shatter before me, a lot of people are going to be celebrating. A lot of people are going to be super excited about it, and that is gonna get me through. The alcohol will help too, but mostly that.
Mostly that. You're the man. I love it. All right. Erica jumping in saying, I have said over and over, McKenna isn't Ghostface. Hey, well, there you go. And look, I don't want to be the harbinger of bad news, but
I've never like shut up about something more in my life. Like, you showed me this and I'm like, she's dead.
Dude, I'm just, it's there. It's right there, man. It's almost more in our face than Mark getting aced out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Erica. We got I gotta stop. Someone's gonna be like, "Night spoiling stuff." Jen, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you saying in that blue poster, everyone has their hands on their faces except Gail, who looks like she could be on the phone. There we see. This is what I love. This is why having this stuff come out is great. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't it something? Gail's on the phone. Why is she on the phone? Jen, what do you think? You got to let us know. You got to let us know. We've had some people say that Gail is going to be a Ghostface killer or be involved. Wouldn't that be something?
Are these officially released posters? I thought these were fan made.
Yeah, this is not, as far as I know, this isn't official.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. I was like,
yeah.
wait, hang on now.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as I know, like, again, the beauty of social media is that you have so many folks. I think it was Carrie who had put this in our thread, and I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. I mean, people want these character posters, bro. Give it to us. Talkie Star Wars coming back out. They also did a Kevin poster on the blue poster, but separate from the actual picture. Really? I haven't seen that. Okay. That's cool. That is very cool. Thank you for the super chat too, man. Seriously. Let's see who else we have. We got Sudia. If I pronounce that wrong, let me know. Thank you so much for the super chat. Saying I think we have a new cult leader, a really sick person, and who has a connection to Maureen's murder. I don't think we've seen Mr. Mastermind yet. Ooh. Now, here we go, buddy. And this will start winding us down because I know you've got a game stream coming up. Do you think that this could happen, or what do you think of it?
I'm so against trying to connect all the Scream films. I feel like these would work a lot better if they were more episodic. I just think about the best murder mystery stories, and they rarely connect to other ongoing murder mystery stories. It's something that I think Scream is trying so hard to do, and I understand that. I think it is satisfying to see here's the next chapter in our characters' lives that we love so much. That's wonderful. I totally get that. Sydney, building off of that story so many times, that's great. But
yeah.
I think for me, when it comes to a good murder mystery, I want to, if we had a fresh set of characters every single time, I don't think I would bat an eye, which is another, maybe a too radical of a take for Scream, but I just think that would serve for a better murder mystery. I mean, think about the situation we're in right now with Scream 7. We're currently I think we have the whole thing figured out because it's not going to be the legacy characters. It's not going to be Sydney's daughter. It's not going to be the little side characters that we know only have a very small role in it. And it's not any of the characters who we've seen die in the trailers. Now imagine if there weren't any legacy characters. We'd still have five or six more people that could be Ghostface. The murder mystery would still be a thing. Is it really a thing right now? That's questionable. That's a big maybe. And I just think had we had a I don't know if fresh characters every single time, maybe one person coming back. Let's say the next movie is Tatum Goes to College. I'm trying to do this fast. People are like, your stream starts in 7 minutes, Jake. I know. Let's say Tatum Goes to College. Fresh slate of characters. You know what I mean? Maybe Sydney and Gail do a little cameo or something.
Yeah,
I'm here for that. That's going to be a better your chances of fooling me have just skyrocketed. You know what I mean? That's what, and let's be honest, I think that's what all of us really want from Scream more than anything. So I don't know. Hot take. Sorry about the tangent. I love Sidney Prescott. I love Gail Weathers. I mean, actually, two of my favorite characters in horror across the board. But I think if Scream is going to thrive in the future, I think we just have to move on eventually. Sadly. Sadly,
eventually we do. I mean, it's just the way that it is. I don't know. It's hard because we love these characters, but yeah, it is what it is. At some point we just gotta keep on going. So
I also just want to say I love you, Critical Overlord. I see your chats in there, and you crack me up, my friend.
Oh, and friends no longer appear. There you go. Right. You gotta love it. What's up, Critical? All right. So Guys, we're going to get ready to head on out here because Jake does have a stream coming up on his gaming channel. Make sure that you guys check him out. Go over there, support him, subscribe. You guys know the drill. We've had the links in the chat, and also, obviously, his main page. Check that out. Subscribe to it. Also, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot, and also, lets us know that you enjoyed the conversation. Also, if you haven't checked out the Screaming Night podcast, make sure you check that out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all the other platforms and all that good stuff. And we will catch you guys next time. As always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.